What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I've been getting a lot of comments regarding the next stimulus check. When are we going to receive it? Who's going to get it? And are we actually going to get it? Well, I'm going to answer that in today's video because we're also seeing an additional push from multiple economists. They're saying that the American people could definitely use an additional stimulus check, but they are worried that if we have an additional stimulus check, it would cause additional inflation. I'll address that in just a minute. We also have some updates on the next stimulus package, so I'm going to address that as well. Going to talk about President Biden's broken promises. I want to ask you a question regarding school and the school calendar. You know, how much time we have over the summer, because there's some studies there. And also I want to address how Elon Musk is saying that he will sell 10% of Tesla, 10% of his shares in Tesla, if the Twitter poll says he should. So I'll address all that in today's video. First, let's talk about stimulus. Here's what we know. Many lawmakers have asked for additional stimulus checks. The problem is, and again, the reason this is a problem is because Senator Joe Manchin does not want to see inflation. I don't think anybody does. Inflation is good if you own assets, but if you don't own assets, like real estate and stocks, and in some cases businesses, if you do not own an asset and we see inflation, you're probably going to be hurt more than you're going to benefit. So here's what we're hearing. Many lawmakers have said that they support an additional stimulus check, but the problem is if we do not see our supply chain issues get fixed soon, we're not going to see an additional stimulus check. If we don't have workers get back to work, which would help fix our supply chain issues, then we're not going to have an additional stimulus check. Here's the problem. Let's say, and economists have been calling for this, let's say economists convince Congress to pass an additional stimulus check, let's say for $600, right? A simple $600 stimulus check for 160 plus million Americans. That would provide a lot of incentive for people to go out, especially now during the holidays, go out and spend money. But here's the problem. If we're already seeing shortages in toys and tools and electronics and sporting goods and clothing, the problem is if we give 160 million Americans an additional $600 each, what that's going to do, it's going to make the shelves almost bare. So how do stores keep the inventory in stock? How do stores keep people coming back in for additional things? Well, it's simple. They jack up the prices. They raise the prices on their products because supply, we do not have enough supply for the amount of demand we would have, so that would cause inflation. So again, a stimulus check at this time doesn't seem as likely. However, there is some stimulus actually going out. Here's where stimulus is going out, and there's more than just this, but these are some of the things that have been going out recently. First off, Pittsburgh. They're sending out $500 per month to 200 households for the next 2 years. We know Columbia, South Carolina, it's $500 per month for 100 low-income fathers. In Chicago, this was a big one I addressed this a couple weeks ago, $500 per month for 5,000 families that have a household income below $35,000 per year. This is going to go on for 1 year. We know Los Angeles is going to send out $1,000 per month for 1 full year to 3,200 randomly selected households. This could be big. California also has their Golden State stimulus package, which provides up to $1,100 stimulus checks to parents with at least one child. So that's the stimulus that is going out there. Now, I bring this up because I understand you may not live in one of these cities or this in California, but just understand there are other states and other cities that are planning to do some type of stimulus package program, but they may be delaying this for a little bit. Some want to see this done. Some have even tried to. The problem is it doesn't pass through their own state legislators. So that's the problem there. So just understand, even though you may talk to your representative, you may try to get something going, it might not have the support it needs within your state in order to get it done. So there's not a lot we can do about that other than call our state representatives and voice our frustrations. And I've done this multiple times. I recommend if you don't like what's going on, you call your state representatives as well. That's really the only thing that we can do other than when the midterm elections come and we don't like what they're doing, well, we vote them out. So let's address the $1.75 trillion human infrastructure bill. Some are arguing that letting this bill die would be perfectly fine with them. And again, I think this is interesting because there are some politicians that say if they were the ones making the call, they would let the bills die. And why? Well, some are saying that there's too much in this bill that has been pulled out, and there's not much for the American people. Some say there's just so many cuts. Many lawmakers are actually saying that something is better than nothing, and one says, why pass a bill that nobody wants? But here's what I can tell you. Progressive Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal, she was one of the lead negotiators pretty much for last night and passing that $1.2 trillion bipartisan bill. She was negotiating as a progressive against moderate Josh Gottheimer. She did not want to pass that $1.2 trillion bill because that gives up a lot of the leverage that progressives had. Well, according to the reports, the Build Back Better Act is a historic piece of legislation that will transform the lives of millions of people across America. Pramila Jayapal says she will keep fighting to make sure that we get this done and deliver for working families. Now, to me, that sounds like when she says, I will keep fighting to make sure we get this done and deliver for working families. That to me sounds like she's almost giving up. She's gonna try, she's gonna work, but this is almost it's not yet there. She's conceding, but getting close, right? So to me, this isn't great. This doesn't sound like the bill is gonna be passed soon. However, we also heard from Senator Bernie Sanders today on Twitter, and he said, and I quote, yesterday, conservative House Democrats committed to voting for the Build Back Better Act no later than the week of November 15th. So that's not this coming Monday, but next Monday. Okay, so we got like 2 weeks. So he continues and says, their constituents are watching. They must keep that promise. No excuses. Every Democrat must vote to address the needs of working families and climate change. So the expectation is we have about another 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to get this Build Back Better Act done. This also means whatever else needs to be added into it has to be added in soon. We are coming to the end. If there's no stimulus check in this one, which I highly doubt, okay, then again, if there is, we would see it in the next 2 weeks. What we are hearing is that many progressives are pushing to see something, a little bit more for unemployment benefits. They want to see either, the people that have gone, pretty much gone away, self-employed workers, right? Gig workers, freelancers, those people that have absolutely nothing. They're going to get destroyed if we see additional inflation over the winter months. So they're saying, and they're calling for additional unemployment benefits to the self-employed, gig workers, freelancers, and they would prefer that there is some type of enhanced unemployment boost. Maybe not $300, but something. And a little bit of an additional income source. That's what we're hearing. But again, if this doesn't happen over the next 2 weeks, I highly doubt these things are going to be added. They could be added next year when we see the part 2 of this Build Back Better Act. But again, there's no guarantees there either. So here's what the expectation is. According to multiple lawmakers, they don't see this bill passing as it stands right now, especially since the $1.2 trillion bill has gone through. They say that progressives have lost almost all their leverage. If something doesn't happen now, then it could happen in 2022. We did hear from the number 2 Senate Democrat, Dick Durbin, and he said, and I quote, first we have to get it through the parliamentarian's office and through 50 Democratic senators. He also reiterated that he doesn't know if Senator Joe Manchin would provide the 50th vote at this time. And it's because of multiple reasons. Joe Manchin doesn't like exactly what's in the bill as it currently stands. He doesn't really like the $1.75 trillion price tag. He doesn't like how this bill is going to be paid for, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening. We also still have to wait and see what the CBO score is on this bill, which we don't have that yet. And when Dick Durbin was asked if Senator Manchin could be forced to fall in line with Democrats and vote for this bill, get it passed, he said that that is not how the Senate works, And so President Biden has been saying all along that he promises he will get all 50 Senate Democrats on board, and he guarantees to get this deal done. I can tell you right now, there can't be a guarantee right now simply because that isn't how the Senate works. Every single senator has as much power as one another, well, on the Democratic side. And so because of that, President Biden coming out and saying that he promises he will get this done by the end of the week for November 15th. So that is actually 2 weeks from tomorrow, which would be the 21st. So it would be November 21st. So it will be interesting. That will be the week of Thanksgiving. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually gets done. My guess is, and I told you guys this earlier today and last night as well, my expectation is we see this pass sometime before December, but I wouldn't be shocked if we go into Thanksgiving week without a bill done. So just keep that in mind. Now, on a different note, let's talk about the richest person in the world, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is actually leaving it up to Twitter, to a Twitter poll, which you can actually go and participate in, that he says, and he asked Twitter, if he should sell 10% of his Tesla stock, which is about $25 billion. And the reason for this is mainly because right now he's tired of hearing of all these people, mainly lawmakers, telling him that he's been avoiding taxes all these years. You know, he's the richest person in the world. He gained like $30-some billion almost in a single day just a couple weeks ago or a week ago. And they're saying, and he's saying that it's because of this that he would potentially sell 10% of his Tesla stock in order to pay those taxes on it. Because right now, billions of dollars are pretty much sitting on the sideline from unrealized capital gains, which was not put into this upcoming bill. So today, Elon Musk said, much is made lately of unrealized gains being a means of tax avoidance. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock. He also went on to say that he will abide by whatever Twitter decides. So if they decide, yes, he should sell 10% of his shares, then he will do that. He also wanted to just remind people that he does not take a salary. He does not take a bonus from Tesla or any of the other companies. So the only way for him to pay taxes personally is to sell his stocks. So let me ask you, do you think this is a wise move? But now let me add in a little bit more information. Just on Friday, yesterday, his brother, he actually sold $108 million worth of a Tesla stock. $108 million. He also donated $25 million to charities. So, do you think this was a coincidence? And now, do you think this was a good idea? Do you think Elon Musk is doing this because he thinks, yep, this is probably going to happen at some point. Let's just go and sell it now? Or do you think this is a move to try to bring the Tesla stock back down? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, in other news, this is not something that it has nothing to do with the stimulus package, but it's something that I want to bring to your attention because there's multiple studies on this and there's multiple reports, not just from Washington State, but in Washington State, where I live, there's a group of about 18 school districts that are considering shortening the summer vacation period. And they're trying to make a more balanced school calendar. This actually impacts people that work as well. So I want to address this, okay? And give me your thoughts on this as I go through it. What this would do, and the school schedule would look something like this. You'd have 4 quarters, 45 days each. Children would go to school for 180 days total throughout the school year, but they'd split it into 4 quarters. In between each quarter, let's say quarter 1 and quarter 2, there would be between a 2 and 3 week break, a little vacation. Now, during the summer, it would be between 5 to 8 weeks. It just depends on, is it 2 weeks between each quarter? Then if that's the case, it would be 8 weeks at the end of the summer or during the summer. If it's 3 weeks between each quarter, it would be 5 weeks during the summer. So that's how it would break down. And many people are saying that studies have shown that right now, children are experiencing learning loss over the course of the summer because it's a long period of inactivity and limited learning. These studies also show lower income families are the ones that are mostly impacted. We have also seen that the United States is trying to compete with other countries like China. China They don't have 3 months off of school. In China, according to, at least from my research, and if anybody else knows anything different, please let me know down in the comment section below. But in China, usually their summer break goes from July 1st to the end of August, so just 2 months, which isn't a lot shorter than what we experience here in the United States, but it is shorter. In China, children are also almost pressured into taking some type of summer class. So instead of a full curriculum, they just take 1 or 2 classes throughout the day. Very simple. In China, they also go to school from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pretty much this about same amount of time parents are at work. So here's what I can tell you. And let me ask you this. What do you think of this schedule for children? But also, would you like to have this schedule for your work as well? Many people, again, and trying to do as much research on this as I could, many people have thought of trying to split up their breaks. So instead of, let's say you have, 4 weeks off or something during the year, right? I know to many people that's a lot. But let's say you have 4 weeks off, so a whole month off during the calendar year. What if you were to take 1 week off every 45 days, right? You take 1 week off. And then sometime during the summer, you take 2 weeks off. I think that would actually come up to about 5 total weeks. But let's say you were to do that. Would you come back to work more energized? Would you be more excited to be there? Would you get more stuff done when you were at work? The answer is yes. According to multiple studies who are watching businesses that are doing this, their workers are more productive. They get paid more, but yet the business makes more money. So I thought this was very interesting, and I thought this was a great way to transition, children into a very similar work life. Because for when you graduate high school or you get out of college, you do not get to work all throughout the school year and take 3 months off during the summer. That's usually not the way it works unless you're like a teacher or an educator of some sort. So that's kind of where I wanted to leave you with today. I just thought that was very interesting, but let me know your thoughts on all that. Let me know your thoughts on the stimulus checks that are going out, the upcoming stimulus package, what Elon Musk is potentially going to do possibly as soon as Monday, and also what your thoughts are on this school calendar change. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.